Hi kids! This week we started reading the story of Aniz, the shepherd boy. We saw that Aniz was a shepherd that played flute, right? So he played flute and everybody liked his music. But in the village, there was a landlord that didn't like the music of Aniz. So he hit Aniz and broke his flute. After this, a kind old man helped Aniz. They went to the market, and with bamboo, the old man made another flute to Aniz. Aniz got very happy. On that night, the landlord, the powerful landlord, had a dream while he was sleeping. He dreamed about a white rabbit with a black spot on its head. He thought it was a lucky rabbit. Coelho da sorte. A lucky rabbit. In the other day, the landlord gathered his 3 sons and said, "Who catches the rabbit will have all my money when I die." Então, kids, ele juntou os 3 filhos e disse, quem conseguir pegar o rabbit will have all of his money, vai ficar com todo o dinheiro dele when he dies. Now, kids, take your book and open on page 31. We will read together the second part of the story. And after this, we will do the exercise number 4. So pay attention and follow the reading.
Aniz the Shepherd Boy, Part 2.
The landlord's oldest son went to the forest to look for the rabbit. The kind old man appeared to him. "Go to Aniz, the shepherd boy. He can help you," he said. The oldest son found Aniz and explained his problem. The shepherd boy played a beautiful song on his flute, and the rabbit came out of the forest and hopped into the bag. On the way home, the oldest son opened the bag to check that the rabbit was there. In that exact moment, the rabbit jumped out of the bag and ran away. The oldest son looked and looked for the rabbit, but he couldn't find it. When he arrived at his father's house with the empty bag, his father was so angry that his face turned very red. The next day, the second son went to find the rabbit. The kind old man appeared and sent him to Aniz. Aniz played his beautiful song again, and the rabbit appeared and hopped into the bag. The second son carried it to his father's house. On the way home, he also looked into the bag. The rabbit jumped out again. This time when the son arrived, the father's face turned purple. Finally, the third son went to look for the rabbit. All the same things happened, and the rabbit escaped again. The landlord turned red, and then purple, and then blue. He screamed at his 3 sons. Then he went to find the rabbit himself. He walked into the forest. Then he heard the sound of the flute. He saw Aniz, and he heard some noises in the shadows. "It's the rabbit," he thought. He looked again, but it wasn't the rabbit. In the shadows, there were bears, tigers, and wolves. They were listening to Aniz's music. Aniz saw the landlord and stopped playing. The animals formed a circle around the landlord. They were very hungry. The landlord started to cry. He couldn't escape. He begged Aniz for help. Aniz saw a big opportunity. He told the landlord, "Promise to be kind and generous." The landlord agreed, and Aniz played his flute again. The animals fell asleep on the grass. After that, the landlord was always kind and generous to Aniz and to everyone in the village.
All right then. So now that we read the second part and last part of the story, I want to ask to you, what's the end of the story? Qual é o final da história? What's the end of the story? Here on page 31, we have the exercise number 4. Number 4, circle the correct alternatives according to the story. So, students, aqui nós vamos primeiro ler, ok? Let's read the 5 sentences. And after this, we will do the exercise. Let's go. Number 1. The landlord sent his sons to find. So, kids, aqui na number 1, quem que o landlord queria achar? Who did the landlord wanted to find? He sent his sons to find Aniz or the special rabbit? So, he sent his sons to find who? Então, ele enviou os filhos dele para achar quem? To find Aniz or to find a special rabbit? Let's go to the number 2. The kind old man sent the landlord's sons to... Então, students, lá no início da segunda parte do texto, a gente vê que o old man sent the landlord's sons to someone. Então, quando os filhos do landlord passaram pelo old man, o old man mandou eles irem para onde? Encontrar quem? To find who? Aniz or their father? Number 3. The white rabbit appeared when... O coelho branco aparecia quando? The white rabbit appeared when? So, students, when did the white rabbit appear? When did the white rabbit appear? Did he appear when the sons opened the bag or when Aniz played the flute? Quando que ele aparecia, students? Quando os filhos abriam a bolsa, when the sons opened the bag, or when Aniz played the flute, ou quando o Aniz tocava a flauta. Number 4. The landlord found in the forest. So, kids, what did the landlord find in the forest? O que que o senhorio, o que que o landlord achou, encontrou lá na forest, kids? What did the landlord find in the forest? Did he find dangerous animals or the white rabbit? Number 5. Became kind and generous. Who became kind and generous, kids? Quem se tornou gentil e generoso? Who became kind and generous? Was it the landlord or Aniz? No final da história, a gente viu que algo aconteceu, certo? Something very important, a good thing, right? Someone became kind and generous. Alguém se tornou muito gentil e generoso. Who was it? Was it the landlord or Aniz? Então, para fazermos esse exercício, nós iremos ouvir a história mais uma vez, ok? We will listen to the story one more time and then we will do the exercise together.